In my head, I was thinking, I have to do something very crazy instantly. I don't know why this came to mind, but I was like, I would maybe have to just punch it in the face. I'm not asking anyone to punch him in the face.
Be careful, all right?
But what eventually happens is another guy will come on your feed and he will have a better job. So this happens with sisters. They do kind of, then message that guy to, get to know them.
I'm just going to talk to a few people here and there. And if someone makes one little mistake or...
I'll move on to the next one. That's it. That's what guys do too.
To the people. And you know what it is? It's as if Allah is teaching us to listen. Oh, that husband you loved, he's gone now. That wife that was never going to leave you, she's gone. Your kids are going to get married. They're going to go.
So I've had situations where they'll wear the hijab and then later on they'll take off after the date and stuff.
Even men that are into their 30s and they're really lonely, these apps make it so difficult.
You know the tying the camel?
There's no faith.
Now it's no tawakkul. I have to do everything in my power so this camel doesn't get lost.
Maybe that's why you're not getting married, because you don't have trust.
You're chasing it. You shouldn't chase it. You should have faith in Allah.
Exactly.
And he said to the king, please, like, if it doesn't work out, just give my daughter back to me, please. And he's crying and he's very upset. And all the comments were saying it's not. Oh, what do you mean give
he
the
belongs.
daughter back?
She belongs to
or
him.
Like she belongs to
yeah.
Thomas. Shut up, man.
Yeah.
Like Western women may not tell you, but like if a man, if he's not like protecting you in that way, but like from other men's gaze, there's always going to be like a form of resentment within that woman's heart. She might not recognize it, but it shows through her act.
Thank you. Because what you sent, she can come and say, oh, that's a bit weird. Well, you get that, bro? Weird. What the flipping hell is weird, man? You're bloody weird. I've asked you in an honourable way to speak to your bloody father. Are you calling me weird? You're the weirdo. IslamNet is raising funds to establish a Masjid and community centre in Norway, and they urgently need your support. This donation will be a sadaqah jariyah for you, because every person that comes a step closer to Allah through your donation, you will inshallah be reaping the reward. Click the link and donate what you can. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters and dear friends. Hope you guys are well, inshallah. Welcome to another episode of the Bitter Truth Show. Today we're going to be talking about something very interesting, which is Muslim dating apps, or whatever you want to call it for that matter. Yes, I have my personal experiences with them actually when I first came to Islam, but I'll tell you guys about that a bit later. So we have, alhamdulillah, Brother Mahdi here, and we've got Michael, who's a regular, mashallah, and we want Brother Mahdi to be a regular as well, inshallah. We've got new sisters, Sister Lucky, and Sister Anamta, and Sister Halima. May Allah bless you guys, inshallah. We would like you guys to be regulars as well for your contributions. And brothers and sisters, if you're watching at home, this show was started. The aim is to preserve the marital unit. There's an outright attack on the marriage as a whole. Divorces are happening. So it's there to understand each other better, understand the opposite gender better. And yes, inshallah, it saves homes and houses, inshallah, and we stay married to akhirah, brothers and sisters. So today, it's basically when it comes to these Muslim dating apps, the pros and the cons. I can go into a lot of discussion about it as well, but a lot of people are shy actually. Like for example, if I was to ask, this was actually shunned at one moment. Like people think like if they mention like, oh, I got married on this app, it's like some ajib, So I don't know if you guys want. It's a personal matter, but have you guys ever been on it?
Yeah, I've been on Mosque before.
Well, okay, we'll beat that. Don't worry.
But
yeah, just don't mention the name, but we'll beat it. Yeah. Okay, so you've been on one of those apps. Okay, so
because I was looking to get married and.
Yes.
And I thought, like, I've heard about it, and I thought, okay, I might find a good brother there, and it was not good.
Why not? Tell us your experience. What happened?
I feel like the men on there were looking for zina. I genuinely believe like that's what they were looking for. They weren't serious. They weren't committed, and it didn't feel serious to me at all whatsoever. Like, and the men on there were, I don't know. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. And after a day, I just went off it because the conversations weren't very Slavic. Basically, they weren't people.
Were they like? Was any decent men out there?
So there was this one guy who asked me like, what do you look without your
Sorry?
What do you look like without your hijab, and like can I see a picture and stuff like that, like, so yeah.
There is an opinion on that, but not over the app. I think it's when they come and come speak to the father, etc. I think the Hanbalis that hold the opinion that the woman can show the hair, dress up
For
in
marriage.
Yeah,
for marriage.
yeah.
So Hamadi opinion. So I'm very sure because I'll be honest with
Is
you.
that even correct? Islamic?
It's
Yeah, yeah,
you can also
because the Prophet ﷺ said to one of the companions that go and see something in her that will incline you to marry her. So they derive from that. For example,
Ah,
you can see, just so you guys know, this is Islam, by the way. The ankles, you can see the arms. She can wear a type of clothing that's baggy, but just gives you an idea. And she can show her hair. Yeah, this is actually
So it was like you couldn't see anything, like you had to.
it's if that's at your discretion, but it's, for example, if I was to go and propose to my sister, I'm at the house speaking to the father, had a couple of meetings, things look promising, and I said, look, I would like to see without hijab. It is allowed if you follow that opinion. It's totally allowed.
But then, like, what if you decide like you don't want to marry her, but you've just seen her without her?
Okay, but so Islamically, that opinion says that it is allowed. So if things are looking promising, and it's at the discretion of you. If you say, I prefer not to, okay, no problem. The man will decide, okay, I'm gonna, it's fine. Okay, it's not that deep, or I want to see. So if you follow a different opinion, saying no, I don't choose, it's totally up to you. But it is a valid opinion. It's
What is
just
it based on?
the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, when he said to the companion, go and see something in her that will incline you.
Yeah, that's
so they derive from this that maybe the ankle, to get an idea, like the wrist.
Right, okay,
To see, so to a certain extent. And Hanbalis are usually quite strict, so they allow it. So yeah, but yeah, that's a different issue. Not that I'm saying it's wrong, because you have a right to say no, I don't have to. Yeah. So okay, that was your experience, Sister Anamta and Sister Halima, and you guys. Well, have you been on the app, sister, or any kind of app?
I haven't personally been on any app, but from what I've seen from friends and family that do use these apps, I do believe that these apps do lead you to zina. But before that, what actually happens is when you look for someone, you're looking to get married on the app, right? So when you look for your future spouse, there's certain things you look for, right? On your feed, you have people, like if a sister's looking for a husband, the guys will be coming up with they'll have their, like, what they're working as, their financial status, and all of that. Now, when you start talking to that one person based on their financial position, what they look like, their age, etc., it all fits your criteria. But what eventually happens is another guy will come on your feed and he will have a better job. Now, there will always be someone better. So what happens eventually now is you're gonna, so this happens with sisters. They do kind of, then message that guy to, get to know them. And then there's another third one that comes up. Now he has better money.
Two different.
Yeah, exactly. So what happens now is you're juggling. I'm going to use the word juggling because that's what it is. You're now talking to 3 different guys, but when you're asked which one you want to go for, you don't know.
Yeah.
Now you keep talking to all 3 of them, and eventually what happens is conversations, start to lead to, I want to see a picture, and this is where obscene pictures, videos, it all leads to everything. And in the end, what happens is you're still not sure. So with apps, I feel it's like you will come across someone who will fit your criteria of who you want to marry, but there will always be someone better. So it does lead to you not being sure, not deciding, and it eventually leads to zina as well.
yeah.
I was going to say, I think there should be like guidelines on the app.
The issue is these apps, they don't care about that. They say they're Islamic apps. I've been on quite a few of them in the past, right? And the stuff I've experienced is crazy. Like, they just want to make money out of it. That's all it is. They don't follow.
They're the same.
They're like just the normal dating apps, but just Muslim version. That's not the case though.
I disagree with this because my friend, I used to work with her, okay? I found her in the supermarket. She's like pregnant. And I'm like, wow, congratulations. When did you get married? And she's like, oh, a few months ago. And I've moved to Manchester as well. And so I was like, how did you get married? Like, how did you find this fella? And she's like, off this app.
Yeah.
And she's like, honestly, I was on the app for like 6 months straight. Like, I put my effort into it. And then when I stopped putting effort into it, I just let Allah kind of drive it. And then somehow I found this guy when I lost weight.
On the app.
From the app.
Yeah.
She
So
married a guy.
yeah.
And I found her there in the supermarket pregnant. And I was like, whoa.
The issue with that is the exception doesn't make the rule. So
What do you mean?
from personal experience, it's like every 100 women I've spoken to, one of them might be actually what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Most people on these apps, just from personal experience, right? They're not looking for like a long-term relationship. And I know Sister Lucky said that the men on there, they're quite like, they want something else, right? But from my experience, women also want that. The stuff I've seen that has been messaged to me is like insane. As the brother said, I'm a good-looking guy, so You know.
Two guys, mashallah.
Oh, well, there you
You're
go,
a good-looking guy, but you don't want two wives. What's going on?
I was
But
going to say,
that's with everything. You have to sift
Yeah.
it out. Like if you're looking for a nice car, a specific car, you have to go everywhere and look for that specific car.
Yeah.
You can't just expect every person on an app. That's going to
But
be
with
all
these apps, you need, I think,
perfect.
a higher sense of like strong will, because it's easy to fall into zina. I believe when you get into these apps, you sort of lose a bit of your innocence. By the way, guys are messaging you, girls are messaging me, etc. And to be honest, I found like really good people on the app. It just didn't work out. Do you know what I mean? But at the same
Stealth apps. Just everyone should stealth the apps. I said this in a previous episode. Yeah, brother, I'm not gonna lie, you're right. When it comes to the marketing, it's the same as Tinder, Bumble, Hinge. It just has Muslim at the front. That's it. Obviously, there is the exception. You do have.
But that's just
you
your
will have-
personal-
You will have
Understand how
friends.
amazing that is.
You all have the friends that will be able to find their partner, but at the same time, they're just not good. Like it's gonna promote zina. It's gonna promote all the same things that Bumble, Tinder, and
it
Hinge
already
promote.
is. Yeah.
So it's just stay away from it.
And you know,
And sorry to cut you off.
that's right, brother.
I said in a previous episode about obviously you don't have to believe when it comes to the genetic mixing of when they can pick and choose who you have kids with, and you have no idea. They give you a selection of people for you to swipe. You don't actually get to pick who you're swiping at all. You just come across the person who's the best looking in your bunch. That's it. When it comes to the questions about taking your hijab off, that's wrong. Like fine, obviously the companion, but at the same time, it's the ill intent. It's not for the right reasons.
yeah,
It's ill
because
intent.
I genuinely believe like this. It wasn't for the fact that I want to see what you look like before I make the decision to marry you. I felt like it was more of like he was sexualizing me and objectifying.
Of course, he's not, because he's not sitting there. He's not sitting there in his home going, hey, I'm really looking for a wife, and I'm
It was a very
doing this
lustful
out of the
thing.
goodness
Yeah.
of my heart.
Yeah.
He's not. Like maybe he
That's
is.
what I felt
Maybe he
through
is.
it, that's what-
The majority of the time, like in my opinion, I feel like the Muslim men that go on there are looking for obviously going on there for Muslim women, but they also going on there. They would go on Bumble, they would go on Tinder, they would go on Hinge, but they're not going to find a lot of Muslim women that they're going to be interested in. So they just go on the Muslim one to find girls that they personally find attractive, and they're going to have the same motives as the men on the three ones that I've just repeatedly mentioned as well.
With these apps, you have to weigh it up, right? Is there more benefit to the ummah, or is there more disadvantage? And I know you said your friend. Wait, let me finish. So with was it your friend you said you saw who's pregnant? So that's one case of it working out positively, right? I can mention to you now a million other cases where it's end up in divorce, a baby out of wedlock,
She
is
actually
in
advised me to try that.
No, fair enough. But
Do you
that
understand?
no, I understand that. But that's everyone's got personal experiences, right? From my personal experience and hundreds of others I've spoken to about this and seen on TikTok, they've always said it's so much fitna. Having that much choice on an app, it isn't good for your brain, the way it's wired. You're thinking 100%. You're seeing a pretty girl, you're thinking, yeah, she's talking to me. I'm popular, check me out.
Builds
So
your ego up.
100%, for men especially.
Like,
It's
It gives you a false.
Even for women, like let's say
Yeah.
you have a lot of options, all these men have like, I don't know I forgot how it works, but I guess swiping right on you, and you could be like, like all these guys want me, I can have whoever I want.
Exactly, yeah.
It gives
So
you-
I'm just gonna talk to a few people here and there, and if someone makes one little mistake, or
I'll move on to the
something-
next one. That's it. That's what
and
guys do
there's
too.
never a real like connection formed with one
Yeah, yeah.
person, because there's like a
Trust
Yes,
me.
yes.
It's a false sense of reality. Like Sister Anamta
Yeah,
said, mashallah, may Allah bless her, spot on. When it comes to this, it's the comparison is the greatest destroyer for joy. And this is exactly the biggest problem we're facing today, bro. Just imagine, like, and I give this example. Like I say, imagine, bro, I bring you a fruit, and the fruit is called, give me a name. Not apple, man, something different.
Mango.
Nah, I'm just make it up. Let's call it.
Make it
No, the fruit is called Lulu. Let's call it Lulu. This is an amazing fruit called Lulu. And I'm like, bro, try this, man. This Lulu fruit is amazing. And you take a bite and you're like, oh my gosh, man, I'm hungry. Yeah. Now you're happy with Lulu. Yeah. Sounds like a woman. Yeah. It's a fruit. Yeah. So you're happy and you're like, this is good. Now you go about and then and somebody comes and says to you, you see that fruit that he gave you? Got the same one. Try this. You're trying. You're like, bro, that one was dead. And then imagine you try another one and another one, another one. Now you're not happy with the first one.
That's my point. There's too much choice.
Exactly.
There's
And
too much
what happens is it
options.
gives you a false sense of reality.
Yeah.
And not only that, when you have think you have that kind of option that where, oh yeah, that person liked me, that person liked me, and it gives you a false sense of reality.
Yep.
And now you're making decisions based on that. And it is so detrimental. Now, I agree with Sister Halima. I have heard the stories.
Yeah, of
So
course.
what I've done is, and I broke it down to, because in the marriage documentary, we actually went undercover on these apps, by the way. We went full out undercover, bro.
Well,
We had sisters who were looking to get married, and a brother, and they would go, and we will see that. For example, the dynamics. The sisters getting to know a brother, and I come and argue and go, by the way, I'm her brother. Yeah, I'm in the conversation. Brothers were bouncing. Oh, is it? Oh, why in the conversation for? Oh, yeah, I'm not interested in this. So we did a case study. We went deep into the algorithms, the words that they use. And when we come out with our findings, I think it's in episode 3 or 4, I released this, where we try to go and speak to the owners and say, these are our findings. Why are you using these terminologies? Why is the video? Why is this and that, etc.? So why, just to assess, is this good or bad? There is possibilities, like you said, I know of people who actually got married.
Yeah, same.
So what it brought me down to is the following, is that generally they are harmful. And I'll tell you my experience in 2013, yeah? Generally, they're harmful. But if you have a good relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you fear Allah and you still don't think you're immune from zina, by the way, you should always have your guards up. But it can be a means that Allah finds you someone through that. It is possible. Do not disregard. I tell everybody, when you're looking to get married, try it. It might be. I know practicing brothers who found good sisters or good brothers through there. It's a possibility, but there is a great danger with it. There's a great danger. When I was a new Muslim in 2013, I didn't know any Muslims, etc. I just knew these apps. I went onto this, yeah, bro. Let me tell you something, yeah, bro. I came from a jahiliyyah, yeah, all this kind of nonsense. I would be like, and I'm ashamed of this. I'm not saying this because I'm proud of it. Partying, girls, all this kind of stuff. But I came and wallahi, bro, I repented. I stopped. I said to myself, never ever am I touching a girl in a halal way, ever, inshallah. And bro, I would go to these apps, Muslim girls, bro, that I would meet. And by the way, I didn't know about this whole wali, speaking to the guardian.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm meeting her for the intention of marriage. I didn't know about this guardian thing. So it was early stages for me. And bro, wallahi, if you knew what they were calling me to, as a man, bro, I had to literally know better and be like and it disappointed me so much that because I held Muslim women hijabs in high regard
on the apps.
On the app,
Yeah,
bro,
yeah.
the things
That's what I'm saying.
that called to me, it shattered me inside, bro. I lost hope because I'm coming from a jahili of girls inappropriately dressed. Okay, we've lost hope in that. You come and you see a woman in hijab, and then she's calling you to haram, bro. Do you know what it did to my iman? Rumble, bro. I was like it shook me to the core, and I hated the apps. I came off it, bro, because anyone I would meet, either, bro, they're trying to touch my hand, they were moving funny, that so much so I had to correct them and say, have some shame.
Trust.
Bro, as a man, I had to tell the sister in hijab, sister, hello, like you have observing, and I realized to myself, bro, hijab is not what you.
It doesn't mean anything.
I've learned my lesson.
It's the individual.
Not only in niqab, bro. I don't care if she's wearing a motorbike helmet. It means nothing to me because that is a relation between them. I'm so sorry, it sounds mad, yeah. I know sisters in niqabs, they wear niqab to do mad stuff so their face is not identified. Yeah. So I'm not seeing all of them. There are good sisters who observe the niqab. Do not make judgments on appearance. That's what I'm going to say. That was my experience, but it is plausible.
My experience is similar. Sorry, sister. I'll let you speak first.
I also think it comes down to your niyyah as well. There's innamal a'malu binniyah. Actions are only by intentions, and I think you have to be very strong-minded when you go on an app and you start to talk to people. You have to be very smart with what you're dealing with. As soon as you see a guy, or if a woman's looking for a guy, or a man's, either way, whoever's looking for one another, if you automatically sense any type of, if a guy's coming across to you as flirtatious, or just basically for, can't word it,
I feel like you have to have your guard up.
just a desire of lust.
Yeah,
Go away
yeah.
from it. Leave it. End that conversation and just leave it there. That way it won't go to an extent where you fall into zina. So I feel like it comes down to your intention as well. And your intention will only be strong if you have a strong relationship with Allah. If you have that, when you intend to go on an app, I want to look for this person and I don't want to fall into any zina. So you have to be mindful of, this is what you can come across. And once you're mindful of what you can come across, as soon as you do come across it, that's where it needs to stop.
The issue, Yeah, the issue with that is, as I mentioned before, a lot of people lose their innocence going on these apps. So they might have the sort of thought process, I just want to find a good man or a good woman, right? But they lose their way because they're seeing all this attention come. And statistically, when you have this much options, it does mess your brain up. It's wired differently. You're thinking, you got an ego on you, you can choose who you want. So people lose their way. They might have a good relationship with Allah, but regardless, people still lose their way. Do you know what I mean? And my situation was similar to the brother.
Actually, tell us what happened. Like with you, what happened?
What, just on the apps?
Yeah, on the apps. Don't go into too much detail.
Yeah, no, just
What happened?
I just went on the apps basically, and I thought, because at that point I think I was like 22, 23, and I just thought, like I was born in a non-Muslim city, so let me try going on the apps. Gave it a go, and I went on like a few dates here and there, right, to public restaurants and stuff in Birmingham, and they weren't what I was looking for, or they lied about certain stuff. So they'd
By
wear.
the way, this whole filter makeup, the biggest lie on this planet Earth. Please tell us, because I'm telling you, I'm just tell your story later, because you meet a sister and like you're not the same person.
Yeah, you know what it is though with that, bro. I'd overlook that if the personality is like good enough, if they're practicing. So I've had situations where they'll wear the hijab, and then later on they'll take off after the date and stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy, man. Some of the stuff that happens on these dates.
Tell me your experience of that. So one, you're wearing a hijab and she doesn't wear a hijab. Have you ever come across someone that looks totally different? Like, bro, you're like, you are not the same person.
No, because you'll just wear makeup again, innit? Same as the way they were in Muslim.
Oh my God, I see that in person.
Yeah. You know what it is? I don't go on dates with women who wear loads of makeup anyway, because I know that it's just a cover. Do you know what I mean? I know I'm just smart enough to realize if she's got this much makeup on, what's she gonna look like in real life? Call me sexist if you want. That's just the approach I
Nobody
have.
can call you nothing, brother. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I used to take wet wipes with me. No, I'm being serious. If it's come to a certain point where it's getting serious, I would say I would like to see you without makeup. Like straight up, bro.
Yeah, listen, what I just want to say about the apps is they're only really built for attractive people as well. I mean,
Yeah.
when it like, if you go on there looking like the elephant man, you're not gonna get anyone, which is a shame. We're already in an unnatural society. There's too many of us. So when you got the apps as well, on top of all of that, that makes it even worse. If you went back 5,000 years and you were unattractive, you wouldn't have trouble finding a mate because there's little to no selection.
Yeah,
Like, you
exactly.
don't have
Again, options.
options.
Yes, options. That's the
Whereas
issue.
I just think that's the main point, really. I mean, it just makes it more difficult. Like for the attractive people, quite much attractive people find attractive, so like symmetrical faces and whatnot. But for those that are unattractive, they're gonna have a really difficult time. Even men that are into their 30s and they're really lonely, these apps make it so difficult. Like you have certain people who will find a partner, but think about the people that it hurts even more. It's not worth it.
On a general
It's not
basis,
worth it
it's
at
more
all.
it's more harmful.
Yeah,
Plus,
it's way more harmful. The
Yeah.
good doesn't outweigh the
that's
bad.
it. That's what I'm saying.
So
And
that's why I-
picking up on the age, yeah, what you said about like the there's older people on there and stuff as well. It got to a point where all the sisters my age range, 22, 23, 24, they were all so like they weren't about marriage. They're just about for making friends and doing whatever, right? Going lounges, this and that. So it got to a point where I was looking for women 28, 29, 30, even older, because they were more mature. And like they've gone through divorces and stuff. But I was just thinking, bro, I'm never gonna find anyone my age who's like mature enough to like actually want a marriage. Everyone's on it to doss about. So that's my experience with it. Again, I've got situations where my cousins have married from Muslim matches. Oh crap. Veep out, yeah. I've had situations where I've got like family who have married from these apps and stuff. But it's rare as opposed to general like population.
I think that's the important thing to know.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, at the end of the day, whatever platform you use, however, like whether you meet someone in real life, whatever it is, it's all a qadar of Allah. Like it's all down to Allah. You make your du'as, and He will find someone for you. You just have to have that faith and that trust in Allah, regardless. Because there's a lot of people. There's obviously I don't know, maybe an epidemic of lonely men who are struggling to find women. You have to have your faith in Allah. You have to trust Allah.
Don't fall into the red pill trap.
Yeah, 100%. Like you have to build that relationship with Allah, because Allah will put someone in your life when you're not looking for them, when you're ready. And when you're ready is specifically when you've built that relationship with Allah. That's what I think anyway.
It's very fundamental what you say, and I say this in every episode, like a lot of the episodes, is that we think that this is not in our hands. This is the biggest mistake we make. So we know the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, which a man came and he left his camel untied and he was walking to the masjid, I think, and the Prophet said, why have you tied your camel? And he said, I have my trust in Allah. And he said, that's good, but tie your camel. Now, if you think about it, that hadith teaches a lot of things. And the first thing it teaches us is that the people in those times had a great level of tawakkul, to the level they thought, I don't even need to tie it. But we know from the deen that you have to. Do you get it? You can't. Yeah, even your door unlocked, you have to lock it. Today we have the polar opposite, which is what? Bro, forget lock your doors. Forget, the tying the camel.
There's no faith.
Now it's no tawakkul. I have to do everything in my power so this camel doesn't get lost.
Maybe that's why you're not getting married, because you don't have trust.
You're chasing it. You shouldn't chase it. You should have faith in Allah, have faith in God's plan.
There is no tawakkul.
Maybe you're just thinking, I'm going to make this happen.
Exactly. No, you know what
that's
they think?
why you're not getting married.
They think that it is in their hands. So the analogy we give, the example we give is with the camel. It's that forget tying the camel, they've killed the camel. The camel is dead. Because they're so fixated in, I need to make sure my camel doesn't run away, to the level where they've been there and the camel is dead. And they're like, yo, brother, you're tying it. Yeah, it's done, but your camel is dead. Yeah. You know why that comes? Because there is no tawakkul in Allah. 100%. And today what we do is, what happens is the following, is that we take the aql over the naql. I always mention this. We take our false logical thinking over what God commanded. Okay, because we believe for Allah all things are possible. So what happens is sisters come and say, in order for me to get married, let me show my hair. Let me get my lips done. Let me get this done, etc.
That's shaitan whispering in your ears.
Exactly. You know what's happening here? There is no tawakkul. Look how much of an insult it is to Allah that you are saying, Allah, I don't trust that you can find someone for me. I'm taking matters into my own hands by committing haram and showing my hair and putting makeup on. Aki, can you imagine the insult? The one who's created the heavens and the earth. You're basically telling Allah, who says that the birds are fed with when they go out with a hungry stomach, and you're saying, oh Allah, I don't trust you enough, therefore I'm taking the matters into my own hands to the level of committing haram. Sisters do this when it comes to their beauty. Brothers do it when it comes to earning an income. So the same thing. Oh, it's hard to get a job, this, that, I'm going to sell drugs. Yani Allah who created the heavens and earth cannot provide for you, so you're going to go and commit haram. This is the problem we're facing today. No tawakkul is left. It's all in my hands. People think, I need to go to the app. I need to, maybe let me be a bit flirty, because otherwise no men are going to talk to me, like Sister Anna Amta said, And may Allah bless and preserve her, because what she said is zero tolerance. Aki, wallahi al-adim, I'm telling you. And I'm telling you this because Allah says, talk about His favors. As a revert who came to Islam, bro, I was so sickened to the lifestyle that I lived. When I came to Islam, bro, I had zero tolerance, bro. To the level, bro, wallahi, let me tell you something, Aki. Some sisters will call me to outright haram, bro. Outright haram. And bro, to myself, I would you look at the Surah Yusuf, when he was tempted by the woman, There's 3 things he done. Number 1, he said, I seek refuge in Allah from the cursed shaitan. Number 2, Allah says, and we reminded him of our favors. Remembered, Allah looks after me, Allah blesses me, Allah takes care of me. And what was the 3rd one? He took physical action by running to the door. So the thing is here that we have to know better, and as men, that to protect yourself from that, zero tolerance. The moment I was speaking to a sister and getting to know, let's say one week, just getting to know some basic questions, because if you go to the dad straight away, it might be that she says, I want to work and I don't want you to work. The moment I will mention her father, bro, do you know how many sisters run away? Can I speak to your father? Oh, he's away from Turkey. Can I speak to your brother?
They think
my brother is working. I'm like, hello sister, what happened? Did anyone in your family die? And bro, wallahi, they would run away.
There's a lot of women these days who have commitment issues.
Yes. They don't know. They don't want it. Look, let me tell you something. They want a guy. They respect a man more when he comes and says, hey, Chung Ting, drop me your digits, They have more respect to that guy than if a brother came and said, sister, I would like to speak to your wallet. Wallahi, they shun you, bro. They're like, look, speak to my dad.
I was going to say, I genuinely believe it is deep-rooted. I did say that women... I do think it's deep-rooted, because I feel like it does come down to the fact that a lot of these women don't know their worth. Where they don't know their worth, because Islam came to honor you with rights. And it's like there's rules and regulations in terms of, like, we call it courting, not dating. In terms of when it comes to getting to know a man for marriage, and it's there for your protection. Not for them, it's for your protection, because it's so easy for a man to get into your head, talk, because a man can say all these nice words and and
start
manipulate
getting all this
you.
attention,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
all of
and
a
you feel
sudden
validated in that
Yeah.
moment, and then you might give yourself up to this man. Like there's so much dangers, like for you to be able to get to know a man without like let's say a wali involved, or so, like a third person.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
you remember if there's two people, like a man and a woman, who are not married, if they're alone together,
Someone needs to be
the
there
third person is
looking over the
with shaitan.
situation. And people think in person that needs to be the case, but also in chat. I've actually had women on these apps saying, do you mind if my older brother, older sister, whatever, monitors the chat? Oh yeah, that's fine. Do you know, I prefer that over.
And it also keeps
'cause
the man in check.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
knows
Wait,
there's somebody, like her wali is going to be watching me. So
the
I
red
need to
flag-
be careful what I say to her,
Yeah,
how
yeah.
I speak to her. He's going to be very careful. He's not going to cross her boundaries because
yeah.
there's another man keeping him in check.
I will say one.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, exactly. I will say one thing though, just from personal experience, like these apps have ruined so many people's lives. Like from a religious perspective, right? Like long term, the way they view women, or the way the women view men, it's almost like they're disposable. Next. Oh yeah, I was chatting to 5 gal the other day, but I like 2 of them. I'll get rid of the other 3. That's so common. Like
Yeah,
it's so
100%.
common.
I feel like women look at men like they're just like ATM machines.
Oh, trust me,
And
man. Yeah.
women and men look at women like they're just like objects.
Mm.
This is generally speaking, obviously.
Yeah, the worst thing is when you go on these apps, right? Like I'll see someone, oh, like she's practicing the hijab, she's wearing everything appropriately. Her sort of her feed, like her profile, it all looks like good for what I want, right? And I'll speak to her and she'll say the most craziest stuff, and I'll be like, whoa, I'm taken aback. Like the reason I went on these apps was to avoid stuff like the other non-Muslim dating apps, right? I'm not going on that. To go onto these apps and seeing like how similar it was, I was like, yeah, this is insane. This isn't for me.
Yeah.
You have to have your boundaries when you go on these apps. If you don't put your boundaries out at front once you start speaking, that keeps the man in check, and you also, it keeps you in check as well. If you say, you know, this is what I'm looking for, this is what I want, and that you're not getting the same, you know, you're not
Response.
he's not on the same page, or you're not getting the same response, that's it. That's the end
Yeah.
of the conversation. If you entertain it more, and if you think that, oh, maybe, you know, let's talk, he might come, you know, he might be on the same page as me, or he might change his thoughts, his mindset. No.
But the issue with that is people like you might have the intention going in. I said this before. You'll have the intention of finding the right person, right?
easily
You don't want to mess
distracted.
about. It's so easy for us to get distracted, right? And it'll ruin your iman. It'll ruin your your view in religion. Do you know what I mean?
You know, I was gonna say
And so these apps are like people fall in love so quickly nowadays. They'll be like, oh, I love this person. You know what I mean? It's all physicality, and these that's what I'm saying. And with these apps, it's all images, right? They don't meet him in person until a few weeks down the line. So you're looking at this guy thinking, yeah, he's good looking. That's the most important thing. Like, he's got banter, he's flirty. That's it. I've asked so many of my friends, like, what do you look for in a girl? That, oh, you know, just funny and just like, you know, flirty banter, this
Like
and that.
surface
She's
level
got
stuff.
good looks, this and that. I was like, bro, like, is she practicing though? He's like, that'll come with time. It's
but
like,
the
you're
thing
looking
is,
at it wrong.
there's also
Like,
that saying, you are what you attract.
yeah.
So you will attract the type of person you are, like within yourself. If you have, you know, that strong iman, and there's certain things you won't tolerate, like you're gonna come across, yes, there's gonna be a lot of people that you're gonna have to say no to, but then you're gonna eventually find someone who's on the same page as you.
Well, what's going to happen quicker? You're going to find someone that's good for you, or are you going to like destroy your iman? It's that's the
Exactly.
issue here.
I'm not saying I agree with like with
Yeah, you know,
I don't like that.
Just putting devil's advocate.
I think like
So,
Muslims
so
is
guys,
basically,
what's the solution?
Solution is having faith in Allah. That's the biggest thing, right? And obviously, what the brother said as well, you should also search for yourself. If you're just sitting at home, you're never going to find it. But you need to have that faith in Allah more than anything.
build that
If
connection
you're
with Allah.
if you're on these apps, yeah, and you're feeling yourself slowly drifting away from like religion, then you need to be like, right, like this isn't right for
Yeah.
me. I'll wait a bit longer. Maybe Allah will provide someone for me. But he's right. Too quickly, people are like just giving up on religion.
You need to like
Sorry, giving up on faith. Their
you
connection.
need to look. I see this. You know, like, wallahi, if you put your trust in Allah, Allah says in the Quran, Surah Talaq, He says that if you put your trust in Him, if you fear Him, you fear Him. Fear Him is what, Aki? You fear that you might fall into zina.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
fear means that you're God conscious. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I will give you a way out from places you will never imagine. Aki, this is Allah's kingdom. What an insult to Allah that you don't trust He's going to find someone for you. Bro, if you fix your relationship with Allah, your salah, your fasting, your zakah, yeah? Bro, how many people do this? Staying away from major sins, yeah? Obedient to parents, yeah? Okay, to the best of your ability, wallahi, I'm telling you, the Prophet ﷺ said, and this is why I emphasize so much in this, First do this, then look at those options. Do you get it? The Prophet ﷺ saw a man and he said, what he wears is haram. What he eats is haram. How does he expect his dua to be accepted? So the point is what? If we fix our affairs with Allah, Allah will fix our affairs with the people and everything in that matter. Do you get it? We don't do that, Aki. And that's why we know the religion is made easy for us. You know why? Because, bro, if we put in the hardship now, like there's a verse in the Quran, Allah says, فَإِنَّ مَعَ الْأُسْرِ يُسْرًا إِنَّ مَعَ الْأُسْرِ يُسْرًا. It's one of my favorite ayahs. With hardship comes ease. If with hardship comes ease, what's the opposite? With ease comes? Listen carefully. Thank you. Listen, if with hardship comes ease, the opposite has to be true. With ease comes
Hardships.
do you know what that means? I'm so sorry. Do you know what that means? Everyone today is going for easy options.
Yeah,
Jump
yeah.
on the dating app, etc. What's the hard thing to do in the beginning? To
Patience.
patience, obedience to Allah, salah.
Yeah.
That's a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
But if you implement that hard thing now and stick to Allah's legislation, in the long run, you're going to have ease. But everyone does the opposite, which is what? Nah, let's just go for the easy option, man. I can't be bothered.
Rush into it, find someone
What happens
ASAP.
when you do the easy now? What follows in the long term?
Hardship.
That's
That's exactly-
the key. This is what we're missing here. Everyone's jumping onto this, that. First do this, bro. And look, I've been on these apps. Yeah, I've seen success stories as well. Yeah, but I'm saying once you do that as a God conscious person and you approach a sister in a in a respectful way. Assalamu alaikum, sister. I saw your profile. I have a liking. I would like to know ask some questions. If you feel the same way, I would like to know you a bit and I would like to speak to your father. Done. I even done this when it came to like if I came across a sister on Instagram. I had the same, bro, copy and paste. And I would say the same thing to the sister. And we can have a different topic about social media, approaching people on social media. The moment you do that, bro, that protects her, that protects you. And not only that, it lets you know what she's about. Because what you send, she can come and say, oh, that's a bit weird. Well, you get that, bro? Weird. What the flipping hell is weird, man? You're bloody weird. I've asked you in an honourable way to speak to your bloody father. Are you calling me weird? You're the weirdo.
And women, you know, there's women that actually seek that. When you approach a woman like this, it has to be respectful. But nowadays, that doesn't seem the case. It has to come across like, oh, you know, you look very beautiful.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be like that. It should be just like Brother Ali said. It should be, I would like to speak to your father. But for some reason today, women don't like that. And I don't know why that is, but it won't be like
They
that.
want the ease, sister. You know that I talked to you about? The hardship is what? An honorable man approaching in that way. But they want something that makes them feel good in the moment. We want instant gratification. This is what we live, the dopamine. Fast cars,
yeah.
fast hand dryers, Amazon Prime. Everything in our mind is so fastly done.
Psychologically as well.
We carry that into our friendship,
Yeah.
marriages, because we're thinking, I don't get what I want. Khalas, I can do something better.
Yeah.
Friends, he done something I don't like. I've never seen any good from him. The same attitude is carried on.
How can we fix this though?
Aki, by fixing, like I said before, there's clear ayahs in the Qur'an. I tell people, pick your hardships. Either the hardship is going to be praying to Allah. It's not, of course, it's not easy. Obedience to Allah, etc. The other hardship is what? Going against His legislation. And guess what? When you go against His legislation, you are in a state of disobedience.
Yep.
It's going to come at the cost of your akhirah. And not only that, Allah says in the Quran in Surah Yusuf, the wrongdoers will not be successful. You know what this means? It's as good as when you disobey Allah, you are putting mines in front of you. And you're going to go on that path and get hurt. So the point is what? Pick your hardship. Either the hardship is going to come by you obeying Allah, following His legislation, and then Allah gives you a good ending. Or you're going to follow the easy route, which is what? Getting into haram and then not falling into zina. He ends up leaving you. He ends up using you. You're broken. Now the next man that's going to marry you, you are going to destroy him because you have. Do you get it? So look at it. So what I'm saying is, which hardship do you want to go for? The one that's going to destroy your life in this dunya and the akhirah, or the hardship that's going to benefit you? It's going to be hard. Don't get it twisted. Allah says in the Quran, don't say you're going to say, I believe and not be tested. I was tested, bro. Allah tested me. And not just me, many brothers I know. To the point, Aki, wallahi, I felt as if Allah pushed me off the cliff. I don't know why. And I'm falling to the floor and I'm asking a question, what did I do to deserve this? But when you have tawakkul and say, Allah knows best.
Yeah.
And before you hit that floor, uqsum billah. I've seen this with practicing brothers, bro. That Allah has a sunnah. Before you hit that floor, this much, you're like, I'm dead. Allah picks you up, takes you to the cliff, and you see a pads. Wallahi al-azim, bro. Any brother or sister I've seen who observed Allah's laws, Allah gave them, I'm telling you, Aki, the doors to everything. That's all I'm going to say. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've heard it with my own ears. And anyone that has disobeyed Allah's legislation, I've seen nothing but chaos and destruction.
That's the thing as well. If you have faith in Islam, or if you have faith in Allah, you will eventually get married. And even if you don't, marriage isn't the most important thing in life. There's other things in you know what I mean, in your life that you need to focus on. It'll come. If you chase marriage, it's not going to happen according to what you want. It's Allah's will, isn't it, at the end of the day? So when you rush and go on these apps and stuff, saying, oh, my age is expiring, I'm a woman, I'm 28, I need to find someone ASAP. I'd say it's the general consensus for women, right? It's like they'll rush into these marriages on these apps and stuff, and then it doesn't work out well, it ends up in divorce.
Can I just mention, sorry, you know, Sarah, she was the wife of Ibrahim alayhi salam, and she was given Hajar as a gift. And then Sarah was like, well, I can't have a baby, so why don't you, Ibrahim alayhi salam, marry Hajar? And then we have Ismail. And then Ismail and Hajar were left in the desert. So that's that side. But then Sarah, over years, she was able to give Ibrahim alayhi salam a baby, and she was in like her late 40s, I think,
Yeah,
or mid 40s. So, you know, when someone says to you like, oh, you haven't had a baby yet in your 30s, or you've got an expiration date on your womb, like, please don't believe this.
Have faith.
It's incorrect, because just believe in Allah.
Yeah.
Like Allah. Exactly.
This is life. You don't know what's gonna happen in the future. That's how we plan our days, you know. But we don't know what's gonna happen.
We have to go with the flow of
We have
Allah's
to go-
plan.
Exactly.
I've got a relative who's in a situation where she's reached the age now where like she's stressing about marriage, parents telling her, you know, you need to get married, you're getting older now, this and that. And it stresses her out, of course, but her mentality is she's just got faith. That's it, it'll come. It'll come when it comes. You can't rush into it.
Whenever you go looking for something, you never really find it. I mean, like it always happens. Like if I'm leaving the house and I'm looking for my car keys, I know it's a silly example, but I'm looking for my car keys, I never find it. But whenever I'm not looking for my car keys, I always come across it or always see it in the house. Whenever you're looking for something, it can never be seen. It's really annoying. Going back to what you were saying about discipline and lack of discipline are both painful. Only the pain for lack of discipline comes after with regret. With discipline, the pain is now, and then you'll triumph at the end. So that's definitely an important point to like leave in the episode is keep discipline, because it's going to benefit you in the future.
Bro, can I ask you something? You know, I don't know if it's from the Hadith or the Qur'an where it says it's sunnah to get married young, right? Now, because a lot of people use that when they're going on these apps saying, you know, I want to get married early, it's sunnah to get married young. At what point can you apply that, not apply that? Where's the line for that?
Parents also use that when they
Oh, all the time. Grandchildren, this and that as well. And
To be honest, I don't know if it's a hadith. I can't remember. Maybe because the Prophet ﷺ, he got married at 25, if I'm not mistaken. So, of course, you should, but as long as you need to understand, when it comes to finding the one, bro, I say to people, a lot of people, that, you know, finding the one, it's Allah, and I know it sounds cliche, and it's okay, you know, okay.
But it's the truth.
But wallahi, when you, it is the bitter truth, you know. But the thing is, when you find Allah, you need to understand, you know, when you have reliance on Allah, you learn this, you know, Allah, like if you look into this world here, everything leaves you. Everything. Your mom, to your dad, to the people. And you know what it is? It's as if Allah is teaching us a lesson. Oh, that husband you loved, he's gone now. That wife that was never going to leave you, she's gone. Your kids are going to get married. They're going to go. Your parents, if they came to my mom and dad and your mom and dad and said, he's dead, would you have to go in his place there? They might stop praying and be like, I don't love him that much. And Allah tells us in the Qur'an about the Akhirah that day nobody's going to know no one. Allah is basically trying to tell us the only one that you have is Allah.
Yeah, you have
From
to
this
attach.
dunya to the moment you die, the moment you enter the grave, the moment you're resurrected, the moment you're questioned, all the way when you cross the Sirat, there is nobody but Allah. And when you incorporate that in your life, like Allah says in the Quran, if you forget my remembrance, you'll have a depressed life. And if you in my remembrance do hearts find peace. When you rely on Allah, there's this sweetness Allah gives you where you don't find it in a marriage. But what happens is you're so content with Allah that when you are married, it just adds to it. But if it's not there, it's not that deep. But we've given that love to Allah to the individual. So when you give it to the individual and your heart and love is connected to that, guess what? When they go, your love goes with it. So the key here is, again, it goes back to putting Allah first, and then you will realize that, subhanallah, if we knew, wallahi, if we knew the things Allah protects us from, you know, when we follow Islam and we're strict, like, you know, I'm going to speak to the father, or if he doesn't speak to my father, I don't know nothing about it. if you knew the ghaib of what Allah's protecting you from, you will be in tears. You will say, what a majestic Lord that I have, that He's given me all these stipulations and protocols to protect my heart and to protect me. But we don't see it. And because we don't see the effects of it, we don't have trust in it. So to me, like in a nutshell, I just believe, wallahi, it all boils down to obedience to Allah, and they'll be successful.
I was gonna say like,
It's okay. We're gonna come. Remember, Sister Halima.
forgot.
It's okay. I mean, remember, let us know because it happens. It happened to Mike. Remember, one day Mike was like, "I lost my," and it happens to everybody.
Okay,
Yeah. Good. There you go. That's why when you say you forget, I just change the topic so it just gives you more time. Yeah. Go on, sister.
yeah, I was gonna say maybe, just maybe, you're not finding the one because Allah wants you to build that connection. Maybe Allah is, holding that because it's a risk, it's a form of risk. Maybe Allah is holding that risk back so you can attach your heart to Him first, and then when you're ready, then Allah will give you that person.
Yeah, it's all about being ready.
Yeah, 100%.
When you're ready, I mean, when Allah is ready to give you your spouse, He will.
And Allah knows when you're ready. You might think like, I genuinely believe that, let's say you come to a point where you have built that tawakkul in Allah and that relationship with Allah, and you're like, I'm so content, I'm so happy, like I don't even think about marriage. That's when someone will come in your life.
Exactly.
I've got an interesting story, yeah. Now, I'll tell it, I'll try not to cry, because the first time I told it, I cried about trusting Allah, yeah? So, listen to this. Now, you can choose to believe me or not there, but I'm telling you. Thank you. Listen. Cool. This is like maybe 3 months ago. I was working, and I was dead broke. Like nothing in the account, no cash, nothing. The only cash I had was a £5 note, given to me by a tip from a woman from where I was working. I had gone to a Turkish restaurant, and they give me like baklava and that for free because I go there all the time. I went in there and I gave them as a tip my last £5 note that I was dead broke. I literally had nothing. So I gave the waitress a tip. After that, I had gone to work a few days later. I had done the same act for another woman by taking the tray of glass to her box from where I was working, and she had given me another £5 tip. I swear to God, I opened my wallet. I've gone to put the £5 that this woman had not given me. I'm broke. I ain't got nothing. I gave my last £5 to the woman that was giving me the club. I put the £5 in my wallet, and there was another £5 note in there. The same £5 note that I gave to the waitress as a tip for the baklava she gave me. Wallahi, I swear to God.
SubhanAllah.
I swear to God. I swear to God. It's the when stuff like that happens to you, it's one of those things that reinforces your faith.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Bro, it was mad.
Allah does that because Yusuf alayhi salam story, Allah says to him, and if he was not to see our favors, he may have inclined to it. You know these things, when you ask Allah to increase your tawakkul, Allah comes to you, Allah's come to my rescue, in situations where one situation was so peak, yeah? Like, I don't want to get into detail, it was peak, bro, yeah? Bro, Allah got me out. And you know how I feel. And this is the best of examples for Allah. I'm just giving some kind of analogy. Imagine you get into a fight, yeah? And every time you get into a fight, Mike just turns up around the corner. Yeah? Imagine you get into these fights. Now, the next fight you're going to have, what's going to be in the back of your head? Mike is about to come around the corner, yeah? That is how Allah works. When Allah tells Yusuf alayhi salam, if he was not to see our signs, he may have inclined to it, meaning that Allah He gives you this feeling where you know that He's got your back. And when you're in this situation and you can't get out, that's what Allah says, if you fear me, I will give you a way out from places you can't imagine. So Allah makes you feel and makes you realize that every time He helps you, you're like, this can't be a coincidence. Literally, Allah has my back. And then you have tawakkul. Allah increases your tawakkul slowly and slowly like that. When it comes to a point that when a woman, like we know one of the people under the shade of Allah is a man who is seduced by a beautiful woman of stature, and he says, I fear my Lord. But you know how hard that is for a man? Like I've envisioned, like in my head, I was like, look, like I would love to be under the shade of Allah, yeah. But I was thinking to myself, like, imagine I'm in a situation, and as believers, we should have this, like the urge to want to please Allah to the maximum. Do you get it? And for us men, our biggest weakness is a woman. So in my head, I was like, if I was in a room, I woke up and there was a very beautiful woman. And in my head, I was like, it's a split-second decision because you're going to be like, you're a man, innit? In my head, and I'm not asking anyone to do this, but it's just like, it just moved in my head. In my head, I was thinking, I have to do something very crazy instantly. I don't know why this came to mind, but I was like, I would maybe have to just punch her in the face. I'm not asking anyone to punch her in the face.
Be careful, all
No,
right?
I was just thinking in my face, in my head, if she was trying to, because it has to be a split second. You can't be thinking, because Shaitan's gonna come. Do you get it? Shaitan's gonna come. In my head, I was like, I have to do something. No, bro. No. I was like, nah. I need to be under the shade of Allah. I was like, what's the most to save myself? I was like, I have to do something crazy. Like, either
do
like
anything
punch her,
yet.
No, I have to do something mad. And you know what's interesting? There's a story of a man, yeah. This is like, they mention, I think it's a true story, yeah. So this man was seduced by a woman. And do you know what he did? Look, this is what I'm telling you. Wallahi, if you put Allah first, this might sound crazy, yeah? If your mind is crazy. You know what he done? This woman said, if you don't sleep with me, I'm going to scream that you're raping me. Do you know what he did? He said, okay, give me 1 minute to go get ready. He went to the toilet. You know what he did?
Escape through the window?
No. You know, he defecated.
Oh.
And he put that all over his body and he went. Listen to me.
Mad.
Listen to me. Yes. No.
No, in the toilet, scooped it up.
He put look, what he did is, in a nutshell, he used some kind of, impurity on himself, and he went and the woman screamed and ran away. Well, look, it might sound crazy. Maybe some people don't have I don't know where it happened. This is a true story, and it was said that after this time, they would say that we smell nothing but musk of this guy. Now, for some people, they might be like, yeah, whatever. I have full tawakkul and trust that when a person puts Allah first, wallahi, Allah will honor him in certain ways. He could have easily come and say, oh, but Allah, she forced me, and I just had to do the deed.
Yeah.
That's not that bad.
Bro, which one was bad? Me punching in the face or this one?
Is the brother in question you by any chance?
No. Sister Halima, so you said about, for example, your friend was on this marriage app here for about 10 minutes. Are you considering on like exploring that idea?
So I have, and I did get on with someone, and he was lovely, but can I be honest?
You can be honest as long as you're not exposing any sins.
He wasn't leading. I was the leader.
Oh my God.
And I don't like that.
What do you mean by that? Like,
So my father, whenever I have, like if I
wasn't
say, look,
taking
it's my
lead.
dad's day off and we want to do something, I don't need to plan anything. I'm the princess. I'm the
mashallah,
in the car,
mashallah,
chilling.
alhamdulillah.
And then my father, he's like, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that, and I'm like, yeah, this is awesome.
Alhamdulillah.
With him, it's like I have to talk to him. Like I told him, look, I'm into these things, but don't ask me. I'm indecisive. Every month I go through this phase. So just pick something for me.
A lot of women are like that. Like it's.
But like wallahi, I would rather have someone take the wheel because I don't want to take.
That's in your. This is your feminine nature.
Yeah.
You want a man. You want a man. This is what I'm saying. Men are women these days. It's disgusting.
But I think this guy is amazing, but he's not.
There's a lot of passive Muslim men, and it is a problem.
No, of course not.
It's just he.
But this is the interesting point, because at the end of the day, like your father has treated you like a princess, and you want the next man to treat you like that. In what sense though? Yeah. The thing is, you want someone that's going to lead you.
Like
Decide what the plan is and
no,
stuff.
of course, plan the day. This is what we're doing.
So-
No, exactly. Even pay for it. No, he should pay for you, sister. Why shouldn't he pay for you?
But I'm saying as well, like if I'm doing something wrong, if I say something wrong, my dad will correct me. straight away.
Yeah. There's a lot of Muslim men, where
Can I say something? Can I say something to all the sisters in the building here? Yeah. Do you agree that as women, you guys look for that being corrected? This might sound a bit mad. Yeah. No, one second. Just this might sound a bit controversial. Yeah. Being put in your place, but no, I don't mean in a way. No,
respectfully.
No.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Look. For example, let me give a scenario. Yeah, because the thing is here, we need to be a bit real. Yeah. For example, if a man sees his wife wearing lipstick, and he tells her like, can you take it off, please? Like, I don't appreciate it. Yeah. And if she says no, I'm going out. I'm like, you're not going out. Take it off. If your husband said that to you, can you just tell me how would you feel?
I would tell him, why are you telling me? And then he'd tell me, because I don't want the guys to look at you.
Yeah.
So I'd say, okay, cool, I'll take it off.
That's good. You're reasonable.
Because He's gave me a reason. There's been a conversation.
Okay, that's true, but if you don't understand it and like, look, it's just for me, but he says,
Wouldn't do that.
no, I know you wouldn't, but if a woman was to do that and the husband said, we're not going out until you take that off me. As a woman,
personally, for me, I would take it off because there's a thing called ghira, and I understand, like, I might not understand his entire thought process as to why he's asking me to take my lipstick off, but like I have sisters, so I'm very protective over them. Like if it was up to me, I'd like hold the Kaaba with my sisters because there was this sheikh, he said, if you knew what was going on in the minds of like men,
Yeah, that's the
you
thing.
would not
Men
to
know
be-
men best. That's the main thing.
Exactly, and
Men
that's-
would
know
wear a
men
tent.
best.
Exactly.
You
So
walk
if-
around in a tent.
Exactly. So if my husband was to
Yeah,
tell me that,
not being real.
like I would like respect like what he's telling me because I understand it's not coming from a place of insecurity.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
coming from a
Even
place
if it is insecurity, it's fine. It's a man's choice.
What
He can
insecurity?
be.
Bro, it's not, bro. This is
No, but it's
nothing.
okay to have
No, but
insecurity
like,
as a
there
man.
was this-
If I don't want my woman going out, another man staring at her,
No, but why
then
are you called,
I'm
why are
allowed
you
to have.
called insecure for that, bro? This is ridiculous. The non-Muslim
It's the
man.
Western. It's the
But this
Western
West-
standard.
Western
Aki,
It's a
wallahi,
Western
they've gone to the
standard.
level, like, yeah, go get your wife sitting on another man's lap because I'm not insecure. You're filth.
Yeah,
you are
yeah.
filth.
That's
This is
a Western
this is how.
thing.
shall I
Yeah,
tell
it
you,
is
This is the
Western.
reason why the Western men, this the passport bros, bro. They've traveled into different
know,
countries.
but-
They've given up on the Western woman, bro. Get out of here, man. I'm insecure
Yeah,
for
yeah.
telling you not to dress up in a miniskirt.
For men, jealousy should be encouraged to a certain extent.
Say,
You know what I
like,
mean?
You know, like Western women may not tell you, but like if a man, you know, if he's not like, I guess, protecting you in that way, but like from other men's gaze, there's always going to be like a form of resentment within that woman's heart. She might not recognize it,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it shows through her action
Thank you.
She'll start disrespecting him.
to you as a man because
Yeah,
you're supposed
yeah,
to be doing your job
Thank
as a man
you.
in terms of not just physical
Well,
protection,
you know how?
protecting my heart,
Thank you.
my emotion, everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Under the care, you're under the when you go, it's your father who looks after you. When you get married or you go into a relationship, you are now given to the man, and as a man, you have that responsibility,
Yeah.
the duty to you placed by Allah.
It's an amanah.
So
Yeah,
let's say devil's advocate then. A lot of women will say, you know, my body, my choice sort of thing. I don't want to wear the
Get the
hijab.
hell
I
out
don't
of here, bro.
want to. Brother, I'm saying
Ban
devil's
you and your
advocate.
body, bro.
I'm getting attacked
With
right
that,
now.
you have to detach from that materialistic thing. That's your husband telling
Yeah,
you
yeah.
something.
You'd be surprised in Birmingham. It's very common for like women's like man, like they wear what they want, and a man will like that other men are staring at their women. I don't know if I explained myself properly.
You've got no
Dayuth,
idea,
innit?
like,
Dayuth. It's so common in lounges and stuff. You'd be surprised,
It's
innit?
disgusting because like you're literally, as a man, you know what's going through that other man's mind, and you're okay with
He's
that.
showing
Yeah,
it
yeah.
off.
You should not allow
Yeah,
him to be.
there's men out there that enjoy showing their women about.
The way
It's mad.
I think the way things are going now, it's a little bit sad because like I saw a video of a Christian wedding and the dad is walking a daughter down the aisle and has passed off his daughter to the groom, and he said to the groom, please, like if it doesn't work out, just give my daughter back to
Yeah.
me, please. And he's crying and he's very upset, and all the comments were saying it's not, oh that's beautiful, it's, oh what do you mean give
Yeah,
give
he
the
belongs.
daughter back?
She belongs to
or
him
like
and
she
stuff.
belongs to
Yeah,
someone.
yeah.
Shut up, man.
Yeah.
Like they don't see the beauty in it. They just see like, oh, what do you think a woman? You think she belongs to you? Yeah.
What were you saying about Andrew Tate?
She's your daughter, of course.
Yeah.
Like, but people aren't ready to
Because
accept
the man takes care of the household.
Yeah.
If the man dies, if the father dies, who does it go to? The brothers or the uncle? It doesn't go to the woman.
Yeah, like-
the woman is there to just be a princess and a queen.
And
Well, she has to
nurture the
fulfill her
household.
obligations as well,
And
obviously.
This is, and yeah,
To
this
make the next generation, to give
Yeah.
birth to the next generation.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just
exactly.
believe, like,
She's part of the family unit. She has her own stuff to do, but she should be treated like a queen as well, innit? Like,
Yeah, we need to wrap up. Okay, guys. So basically, you heard it. It's up to you, but like to us, inshallah, when it comes to this stuff, the apps can work, but we believe that the dangers are greater. We've had people who had experience. Please tell us your thoughts, inshallah. Till next time, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
The Prophet ﷺ said, whoever builds a masjid for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will build for him a similar house in Jannah. On that day where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that our books will be given and every little atom weight of good deed you've done will be there. And imagine you see a mountain and you're like, what a lucky person, which righteous person? And Allah says, this is for you. For me? Yes. What did I do? You allowed people to pray. You built a masjid. I never had the money to build a masjid, oh Allah. you helped, you gave towards it, and Allah gives you the reward of as if you've built it. Donate now guys, and do not delay, and share the video for extra rewards.